Lenny Zakatek, British singer and musician, lived in London since the age of 13.
Correct.
Correct. Best known for his work with Funky, Fever, Gonzalez and the Alan Parsons Project. Haven't stopped dancing yet.
Yeah, disco.
You were the lead singer.
Yeah,
then.
Gonzalez.
In 1977, Lenny became a studio vocalist for the Alan Parsons Project.
Correct.
In 1986, formed a band called The Immortals with John Deacon.
Of Queen, yeah.
Yes,
the bass player with Queen.
The bass player. And the single was No Turning Back.
Yeah.
It was a soundtrack?
We did it was a soundtrack for a movie called Beagles.
Yes.
And Peter Cushing, who used to play Dracula, he was in the movie. And we did the video on. We used the Queen stage rehearsal set, because so that was amazing.
Very
amazing,
cool.
yeah.
Very cool. In 1988, began a career as a manager, music publisher, and record producer. The artist you work with?
I worked with a band called Seventh Heaven that was signed to Phonogram, and I also worked with Dick Leahy, who was the publisher for George Michael, and originally he had a label which had Donna Summers and Billy Ocean and a lot of, so I learned a lot. I was mentored by Dick Leahy in the early years. Yeah, so I started managing and publishing bands because my hair was going, and the music business had changed. There was a lot of punk music and more about style than music. You know what I mean? So a lot of and also Radio 1, the big station, stopped playing Elton John and stopped playing Phil Collins, and so we were like, what's happening? So I decided to get into the business part of the music industry.
Nice.
Eric Woolfson was a big fan of Gonzalez, and used to come to see us in shows in London mainly. And then literally, I was working at EMI Studios making demo music, with Gonzalez. And then I got a call from Eric and he said, I've got a song I'd like you to try, see if and we'll give you £50, which was good. In that time, £50 is okay. And I said, when? And he said, tonight. And I said, I don't finish in the studio with Gonzalez till 10 o'clock, so I come after. So I went to, I said, where? And he said, Abbey Road Studios. I went, wow, So I went to Abbey Road Studios, and that's when I first met Alan. And they gave me, they played me this song, and Eric played some piano. And I said, can I learn the song? I take it home, and I'll come back, and maybe tomorrow. And he said, no, you have to sing it tonight. So I went down to the Abbey Road toilet with a C45 cassette and listened maybe half an hour. And then I came up to the studio and I did 3 takes. It was done. It was amazing. But and then Alan is an amazing producer and engineer, but he's also very he's quite quiet, and I'm quite loud. So when I finished, I felt and Alan went on the button, thank you, and I went, maybe he doesn't like it. So I wasn't sure. They said, go and have a cup of tea. In England, everybody has a cup of tea. So I went downstairs to the restaurant, had a cup of tea, and then half an hour later they buzzed to come up, and they played me I Wouldn't Want to Be Like You. And I actually said to Alan, who is this singing? And he said, it's you. Because he did an amazing job on my voice, and it was I Wouldn't Want to Be Like You.
Yeah, it's a great hit.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Fantastic.
It's fantastic, yes.
Back on the bottom line, babe.
sang on 12 songs.
I believe so. I'm not sure.
Yes, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Why did you not sing on Stereotomy and Freudiana?
Well, Freudiana really wasn't an Alan Parsons project. It was more something Eric was doing for a musical play. I spoke with Eric about Freudiana. I was at a wedding with him at a friend's mutual friend, and he said, "Oh, I have a part for acting for you. You can." And in fact, his wife Hazel said, "Lenny would be good. Eric, Lenny would be good. You know, to sing, to play the part in the musical."
Which song can you remember?
No, they didn't offer me the song. They just said he would be good, and then I didn't hear again. So I presume, because also the production was in Germany.
In Germany.
Yeah. So what was the other question?
And also Stereotomy.
I don't know, because
Maybe my Limelight.
no, not really. I'm not sure why. Because everybody, once we did the second and third album of the voices, like Chris Rainbow, myself, Eric, I think sang on the fourth album, so Eric's voice wasn't, Colin Blunstone as well. So I thought my voice was established with the Alan Parsons Project, but for some reason it wasn't chosen.
You worked at the time with John Deacon. Maybe you were busy.
No. I wasn't. I'm never busy. I'm never busy not to sing with the Alan Parsons Project.
Fine.
Yeah. So no. I don't know. Maybe the record company decided, to change some things. But when I heard Stereotomy, I did wonder why I wasn't singing it. But yeah.
Can't sleep alone at night. Just can't seem to get it right. Damned if I do, damned if I don't, but I love you. I said I'm damned if I do.
Well, Eric had two projects. One was my solo album,
yes,
and also Keats was the same time. I think he did a deal for both bands at the same time. Yeah, Keats would have been nice to sing with.
Yes, yeah.
It was good stuff.
Can you tell me about your solo project?
Well,
Lenny Zakatek, it's called,
yeah, that
I think,
was. I loved
album.
it. I loved it. I thought we changed some members. Originally, I was looking to have more Gonzalez guys play, because the album was. I think in the review it said, if you like Stevie Wonder and you like Billy Joel, this guy it's sort of similar. So I had an idea to use some other musicians, but but Alan and myself decided a mixture of some APP project guys like Stuart Elliott, who was fantastic, and obviously Ian Benson. Yeah. So I had
my guitar hero.
Ian was unbelievable. I mean, the sound was so. It was a really interesting sound as well with Ian, because if I had said, let's get all the funky guys, maybe it would become a soul album, But Alan's production also lent itself. So I had Robert Hawaii, who played guitar with George Michael and Gonzalez. So Robert played the sort of rhythm guitar, and the other bass player, which Alan really liked, was John Giblin. So otherwise we would have. John Giblin was playing with Gonzalez at the time.
Yeah,
so a little while.
He toured with the Alan Parsons Live project.
That's right.
On air period, I think.
That was after, yeah. So,
after, yes.
But yeah, it was, and then Andrew Powell was amazing with the strings, and
John Giblin passed away, I think,
not so long
months
ago.
ago.
Yeah. May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Yeah. It's a difficult question.
Oh wow! I like Etta James. I like Bobby Blue Bland, Solomon Burke. I like the old R&B, so Marvin Gaye. I sort of grew up loving those guys. So I guess my influences was more soul, But then later, when Freddie Mercury came on the scene, there was not many people to touch him really as a vocalist and expression. So from the rock side, you know, there was probably Queen. I mean, there's lots of records you like, you know, from time to time. But yeah, I guess yeah, it's difficult. There's so many.
Yes.
You know.
Maybe which project singer do you like?
Project singer. I think it's about the song. Like I love Time, and I love Old and Wise.
Old and Wise, yeah.
You know, so Eric sang Time, and Colin Blunstone sang Old and Wise.
Old and Wise.
So I believe I do a good job on these two songs, but their voices were perfect for, you know, for those.
They ask you to sing it and you...
No. I mean, once I did I Wouldn't Want to Be Like You, most of the time Eric and Alan picked me for the energy songs, you know, Games People Play and I Don't Want to Go Home. Yeah, no, I mean, I like Games People Play as a lot because I think, yeah, not because of that, because the chorus was great, the verses were quite sort of funk rock, but the guitar solo and the build up to the guitar solo, and also I made a lot of the, I can't do it now, too old, but I made all those kind of sounds that Alan did an amazing job and mixed it in, so. The whole build-up before.
It sounded like a synthesizer.
It wasn't.
Amazing.
It wasn't. I did all the sounds with my voice, but and then when Ian played the solo, it just
step by step also.
I did a bit in step by step. Yeah, I like step by step actually. Yeah. So yeah. In some ways, I think as I've got older, I like Old and Wise because it's, you know, as far as my eyes can see, you know, there's a shadow. So the Eric's lyrics were genius, you know. And then I actually, also Chris Rainbow's voice was perfect, but his harmonies were unbelievable, you know. So sometimes we knew when we were singing, I was singing a song at Abbey Road or in France, or when we were in Belles Alpes in south of France, we'd say we're going to dinner now and leave Chris Rainbow in the studio by himself, and we come back 4 hours later and there's all these voices. He was unbelievable.
Beach Boys.
Yeah, they loved him. The Beach Boys wrote to him and said how much they enjoyed him.
My favorite track on Amani Avenue album was Since the Last Goodbye.
Yeah.
It was a very nice...
Yeah, maybe I'll sing that live one day.
Oh.
We
would like to hear it.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
And could you tell me about the first Alan Parsons gig in 1990?
1990. Yeah, I think we rehearsed in like a film studios in Shepperton, you know, where they made with the Bond movies and things like that. So we were there for about 10 days. It was good, and also it was and not so good, because we rehearsed for 10 days, and then I think we almost had a month or 6 weeks off. So, and then we just went to Belgium, and we didn't do any production gigs because we weren't really a band at the time, you know. So we hadn't done any production gigs as such, and then we just went to Belgium, did a sound check, and played to 20,000 people that night. So we did three nights of 20,000. Yeah, 3 nights. Yeah. So and that was the time I sang a duet with Gary Brooker from Procol Harum. We did "Don't Answer Me" together, and he's also not with us, but. That was an amazing moment, and I remember my daughter was 16, and she came to see the show with my wife. So it was a very moving experience, really, to hear it live, because we'd made the records, but we'd never sung it live, and that was.
Eric was in the audience?
Eric, yeah. And
Why did he not?
I'm not sure if he. I think he sang more in the studio, and I didn't think. Well, he didn't want to sing live for some reason. But he was happy for me to sing "Eye in the Sky." So it was, I thank him for that. But
With Gary Brooker, "Don't Answer Me," "Eye in the Sky."
Games People Play.
Games People
Yeah,
Play.
I think we only did a 30-minute set. It was a very short set in the proms. The whole evening of the proms. But it was unbelievable. I mean, the atmosphere
David
was...
Payton played
David Payton on
guitar,
bass, Stuart Elliott on drums.
Cottle
and
Brothers, I think.
Cottle Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, and on saxophone maybe.
Well, sax and keyboards. And then Alan mixed a brilliant sound.
Yes.
He was fantastic. And yeah, I could see Eric right in front of me, in the front seat. It was strange, singing "Eye in the Sky" back to him. But he, he said, "Well done." So.
And you did some backing vocals on the recordings.
Yeah, on Games People Play I did, and there was a couple of other things like Too Late, and I can't remember now, but there was certainly Step by Step as well.
Step by Step.
Yeah.
Eric used to sing with Chris Rainbow, the harmony vocals maybe together.
I know, if Chris did harmonies, he just did, it was Chris on his own. Yes. But on some of my songs, Chris would come and we would sing together. I can't remember if Eric and Chris sang together, but I know Chris would always go, "Everybody out, leave me alone," because he was a real ultimate professional, singing the songs. So yeah.
You too. Okay.
No, I can answer the question. The question to that, why didn't I tell, is I don't know. I still, even now, I sing well, and I would love to. I would love to be singing with Alan, because it's his project. So, but I never understood why. But
can't sleep alone at night. I just can't seem to get it right. I'm damned if I do, damned if I
I think if the Stuart is playing amazing.
Yeah.
Richard and Lawrence are playing amazing. So is Davy Payton. So from a rhythm section point, the rhythm section is there. It would be a wonderful thing to do, like a final tour or something. Before we go to the speakeasy in the sky. But yeah, I can't answer that question.
Okay.
fighting to keep myself alive. Damned if I do, damned if I don't, but I love you. I said I'm damned if I do, damned if I don't, but I love you. Thank you very much. Yeah, we can do that.
I did a show in Bologna in Italy for there was a guy Francesco Fura, he's the writer of the book, the project.
Sport book as well.
Oh, yeah, well done. Yeah, so he.
My name is on this
well done.
section.
So he invited me to Turin to do an Alan Parsons Day, and Sally Wilson came on, and Alan Parsons came on, and then I was kind of sponsored by Enrico Spada, who was a TV journalist and has a internet show, and he invited me to come to Bologna to do a show the same time that his wife's birthday, so it was perfect for the present for his wife. I was singing, so he sponsored it, and it was another Alan Parsons Day in Bologna, and it was and I used Steve Jeffries and on keyboards. We did an acoustic set with Ross Hewitt, the guitarist, and it was lovely. And at that show, Massimo Numa was there,
Yeah.
and he saw me and said, I have some ideas, would you be interested? And I said, yeah, you know, that'd be fantastic. So that's how it started. And then a few months later, he called me, Massimo, and said, I want to play you something, you know. And at the time, I was interested, but I wasn't sure, you know, whether it would go somewhere. So I just said, yeah, okay, let's meet. And they said, oh, we'll come to London. And I was expecting to meet Massimo, and I think four guys in the band also came, so it was very nice. And then they played me the songs I had sung on the Alan Parsons Project, but with a refreshed version of the same songs, and said, we have no money to pay you, but would you sing these songs? And I thought the songs were beautifully recorded in Massimo's studio. And I went to Bergamo in January the following year, and I sang 3-4 songs, and it was the first time I'd really sung in probably a couple of years. And I was surprised by my own quality and my voice, and so were they. They were going, okay, you know, he sounds good. So then I decided to record some more songs with him. So I finished, I think, almost 12 songs with the Sky Band. But from that we got some shows where we played into, one of them was a sellout, and then we played, in the same year we played in a theatre there, which was pretty well attended, you know. And we used the Gavazzini Orchestra, and yeah, the band are great, they're really excellent. Love Letters.
Love Letters. It's a cover.
Yeah, it was just, there were songs that, well, there were songs that my parents, because when we were younger I used to hear, my father was a harmonica player, and my uncle was a trumpet player who also played guitar. So when we were 6 and 7, we would have these jams, you know, around the piano. So some of those songs were songs that I'd heard as a child, and then some of them were just songs I always wanted to sing. But the main thing was I wanted to prove to myself that I could still sing. So, you know, it's like if you play guitar, you can't, and you haven't played for 3, 4, 5 years, and somebody says, play the guitar, and you go, oh, I was pretty good, you know. So when I was very encouraged by Steve Jeffries, the man that produced Love Letters, and he plays keys as well and arranges. So he really encouraged me to sing. I didn't want to sing anymore. I sort of thought, you know what, I'm not working with Alan. Gonzalez were finished, and I didn't feel I had the energy. But then Steve played me a Buddy Guy album, blues guitarist, and I went. And there was a song on there called Skin Deep, which I absolutely loved. And he said to me, you can do this. And I went, no. And he said, seriously, you can do it. So he said, let's jam a few things in the studio. Just let's see where your voice fits, you know what I mean? And that's how it started. And then slowly I got some of the Gonzalez guys to come. Robert's son, I'm using the young Gonzalez, not the old Gonzalez. So Robert's son, James Hawaii, played.
What happened to Gonzalez?
They just, you know, it was too many of them. There was 11 of us, so it just slowly broke up. It didn't. There was no fighting.
It was a great disco hit.
Yeah, but also the albums they made were more jazz funk. So we should have toured, but we never did, because they were doing a lot of sessions, you know, for other people. They were on Careless Whispers, you know, the saxophone player. That's the guy from Gonzalez, you know what I mean?
I know it.
Steve Gregory, yeah. And then Roxy Music, Slave to Love, that was Gonzalez, the other saxophone player. And they were always on other people's records. So they were making money doing sessions. As a singer, you get less sessions. So, but Yeah, Tim Cansfield played as well, and then I asked Ian if he would, because Love Letters was just acoustic, piano and voice, and I asked Ian if he would play, so he played very nice, simple guitar. It was beautiful.
You were good friends with Ian?
Yeah, I mean, we got on very well, but we didn't. As you got older, you know, we had different interests. You know, he used to like motorbikes, and I like tennis. So I'd go and visit him every now and then. You know, or if he was in. He moved to Spain as well for a long time, so I didn't see him for a long time. But we used to stay in touch sometimes on the phone and things like that, you know. Yeah, you know. When we formed the project band and only 2-3 years ago with Richard and Lawrence Cottle and Stuart Elliott and myself. So that's the first time I'd seen Davey Payton and Andrew Powell in 20 years. So it was lovely to see them, you know. So I'm hoping that we can make some music as well next year with the guys. It'll be fun.